All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Kelly Link giving you guys the good old dance moves right there. We love to see it. All the casters here having fun, brought to you guys today on behalf of DreamHack, of course. It's Monster D facing Fallout here, calling the EU action all weekend long. We just concluded game 3 of the finals here today of the 10 matches. Remember, they're a limited bulk here. But Fallout, what are your thoughts? Game 3 just concluded. We're leading into 4. Things are really starting to set up here and start cooking.
Yeah, I'm actually shocked, pun intended, that it took 3 games to kind of finally see a shockwave launcher be used in a late game and causing a victory royale. I think the first replay package that we saw right there with the elimination on Wolfies that was secured by a Nas basically called the game. At that point, when you have both access to Kit's weapons are so incredibly strong. In my eyes, that's easily the best of the 3 mythic POIs. You're going to pick yourself a dub. I'm excited to see what happens here as we're now seeing players drop on a 50-50 split here of the map, quite about a 50-50 split. So everyone gets to drop in their preferred locations. I'm excited to see in our 4th game on broadcast.
I love what we're watching right now as well. Guys, don't forget, there is some serious map changes here. If you look at Steamy Stacks, there's more land revealed now, so it's kind of reverting itself back to the normal feel, as did Pleasant Park, Salty Springs, and again, Weeping Woods is still underwater, but for what it's worth, we're getting back to that old feel of more area to play with and play for in the Fortnite world. What we're looking at right now, though, is players starting to grab up and take their portions of the land here. I see Degen up there, one of the only players who actually qualified. I think the only player, correct me if I'm wrong, for NA and EU. Get a little check on that one. A crazy little fun stat there, but some action here. Caddy's Corner's hot in this lobby right now. Oh my gosh.
Yep, that's exactly right. As you'd expect it to be, especially given last game, given every scenario here. A nice opportunity and kind of addition here in chapter 2. You can actually put food in your inventory. Hold on to that for later. You see the use of peppers be used. Again, movement speed towards the late game. That's very, very helpful as we're now on board a dual media snipe in a 1-versus-1 fight in a good position as well. Has some bananas in his pocket to leverage if needed. Let's see how Snipe plays this out.
Oh, he's playing it so good right now. Good movement, moving around here, and that's going to be his 3rd elim now. Remember, he picked up those first 2 with the pistol, and that's so clutch. You think about it. That's that free shield. So he kicked this game off with 100 shield. Forget about the points, right? That gives him the advantage in its own right here, considering how many players are touching down in Caddy's Corner. Now that he's managed to pick up the SMG off that opponent here, it's pepper time. He wants to jump into the next piece of the action here, Fallout.
Pepper time indeed. He's going to get himself to that fight even quicker now, but he needs to be careful because the third party from the top of the mountain is there, and he's going to recognize that. Says, hey, I don't want any part of this fight. I'm going to back out and reset, and he's going to get out of that fight so quickly with that pepper, but gets tagged for about 50 HP. Good thing he has some mushrooms, can heal up at least a bit. And now he's going to find himself a fight against the Titan. It's a Nas who's going to get dropped on. Isn't sure if he even realizes it.
Ooh,
Connects
no.
for 156. Oh. It's 1-2. Good night for a Nas as dual media snipe takes out the reigning champion from our last lobby.
Man, to take 2 victories and then just get dropped on in the game right here. I mean, my gosh, just shows you that anything can happen. And that's the risk of the battle for Caddy's Corner. You don't know who's going to come out on top. And, oh, so embarrassing. The 156 was that? It was a great charge shotgun, by the way, for 156 on the drop down.
That was massive. I'm surprised, I'm surprised we didn't see, maybe he wasn't in a position to build a Nas, because, when you're in structures that are maybe half built and look like they can be built but actually cannot be, I don't know how he didn't get the quick build off or something, but instead it was just a great play. Can't really say much about a Nas there. It was just a great play coming through from Snipe. Now we're on board with Bag. We saw him a little bit earlier. He has a fight against DNA Amito in this one.
Like the angle that he's using here, this natural little bit of height here. The grenades are going to be a devastating factor to the builds. You can see he's blowing it, and oh my gosh, through the brush, he's going to find Mito here with 3 connecting shots, one of which is going to be a big headshot. And now the collaborative shots from the island here coming in from the other side is going to be a little bit of a distraction, but it's okay. Doesn't matter. Bags is stepping up. He's got wall control here, floor control, trying to take the best of it. Good cone piece to land on right there, and now trying to get the quick edit here. All he needs is 1 more shot, and he can wrap this fight up. A little passive, a little timid now, though.
1 shot with maybe the old tack. Might be 2, but he's going to get the headshot. Makes it 1 and done for Bag. Well played. Of course, tactical shotgun overall has kind of fallen to the charge shotgun, much like it did to the pump, but especially with some of the recent nerfs to the tactical shotgun, but still important in some of these early game fights. Still, especially if you can get a purple shotgun or the likes. As Bag's gonna be able to connect for one, and finds an opportunity for elimination on Wrigley. Pepper mode activated again, and here comes the push.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious to see what's the cutoff for top 100 right now for grand finals, because we're approaching that halfway mark in the competition. This is the game right here, and there's a game you want to turn up. It's right here, right now for Bags, who has been kind of middling, right? He's only 43 points in, so he's not doing that hot. Those are the big competitors that we saw with the victories and whatnot are sitting towards that 100 range. So if Bags can really step it up now, this could be the turning moment. This is a pivotal time in the competition.
That's exactly right. I'm not sure where he's definitely not in the top 100. The cutoff point as it currently stands, about 135 points for top 100 is the threshold. So we'll see who is within that threshold. A couple of big names that stand out. Trulex, who we talked a lot about. We actually brought him on for an interview yesterday. Inevitable Prune, a little bit of a standout. Won our first game of the broadcast. Wave Rex is in the top 100. Tomzy, who we had a chance to see. I think Mongrel is no longer in this top 100. Yes, he is. He's in 32nd place. So FaZe Mongrel still in, as well as Mr. Savage, of course, in first place. The one and only Mr. Savage trying to hold on to his DreamHack crown.
Mr. Savage is off the reigning champ of the previous solos competition. He always wanted to take home a cup, and he made that happen in the last LAN event in great fashion as well. Love the photos. I don't know if you guys seen him on social media. I'm sure the Fortnite community has. Just great moments captured. That's what we really do appreciate. Being a part of this Fortnite history, this entire journey here. Here's Sakano, who we saw get just bodied by Tayson a few rounds ago with a headshot from the hunting rifle down range. But Sakano is just disgusting in PvP, really crazy in the box fights. He's shy of the top 100 right now, though.
He is, yeah, he is indeed. So we'll see if, and I think that snipe from Tayson might be the reason for that. He was starting to feel himself, picked up a limb or two. Very, very good box fight player overall, puts in the work, and now Sakano is looking to try and sneak his way into that top 100. 1 hour left, hour and 3 minutes to be precise, to keep queuing into these lobbies. You have 10 matches total or 3 hours. A lot of players don't reach those 10 matches just based on time. They, of course, are playing for late game scenarios, so we'll keep a close eye on the scoreboard. We'll keep you updated. It's going to come down to the wire here. Benji Fishy not in the top 100. I haven't seen Mitro in the top 100 as well. Mongrel is, in terms of just kind of the big storylines that we keep talking about. Meanwhile, Kami, Mr. Savage, and Refsguard are holding it down in top 3. Reason, Castery, Kinzel as well in top 6.
That is right. Again, he's off to a really good start, though. Something to know, guys. 2 elims is pretty massive. You consider a 5-point swing if you pick up an elim. So I'll show you how much that can determine your positioning, your stakes in the current setting here. Nice find, though. It's going to be a blue charge that he's going to fish up from the harpoon section there. Kind of interesting, though, that he's going to drop something. Okay, no, I thought he dropped his harpoon. Looks like he had a spare one. He's going to be able to find some more floppers now. His loadout all of a sudden becoming super nice. I do believe the whirlpools are still deactivated, so that's one less mobility that these players can depend on. Here's Pump Lover coming in, though, with the boat here, trying to initiate a fight, and the compact SMG is going to be the startup who's going to find the first tag. The edits were made, but he does choke the door there. The side jump is not going to be able to find it, but the non-charge follow-up, and now all of a sudden, he is going to win. It's Sakano, who does not miss when it matters. Now he's here to bounce back.
Thank you. Thank you to Sakano right there for, we did a little preface. We teased it. We set him up. We said how good of a box fighter he is, and then he delivers with a nice elimination on Pump Lover 911. Better call 911 after what's happened to him. Sakano delivering the pain to Pump Lover.
Hey, listen, you could say it, all right? Maybe I have the curse and you don't, okay? You praised him. He did good. I do it. I fall
maybe you
flat.
said it.
I'm holding back from compliments here on out. I'm leaving it all to Fallout here, guys.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, the curse, you're gonna give me the curse for saying that. Now it's over. I'm doomed. Catcher's curse officially transferred to Fallout. I am doomed from here on out.
And that, my friends, is how you pass on the curse. Bingo.
Calculated.
Hey, someone who we haven't seen in the feed or on screen yet, as far as airtime goes, Ibuhai, absolutely deadly player, and Stormy Right. Here's Stormy Right, who's right in front of us. Some notable names in the comp. Let's see though. SLB trying to make a little rotate right now. He's going to find himself in his zone here. Following the current. Nice and easy rotate. One thing to mention, you see those exclamation points can be seen from so far. So that's going to be a straight up indicator. Hey, there's an enemy just behind this mountain. Look at how he's going to veer left right away. He doesn't want anything to do with the potential of another opponent. Instead, he's trying to steer clear of the marauders and, of course, any enemies that were nearby there.
That's exactly right. SLB make his way in the rotation. This is the part of the roller coaster that has like the light we talked about last round, keeping the roller coaster metaphor alive. It has like the light drop, you know, and there's like it kind of gets you going, kind of gets you excited, kind of makes your stomach drop. And there's a little bit of a fight that ensues. And you see some of the action pick up. And as I say that, of course, Shaykhaz is going to take out one on Stormy. People are just basically rotating in center circle. A lot of third parties come through, and you do see some mid-game fights. And then things are going to, of course, slow down again as we start to head into our late game. Currently on board with SLB, as he is trying to see which fight makes the most sense, which rotation makes the most sense. And we have another MCES player to our left as well.
I love the dynamic of the usage of charge shotgun right now, how many pros and semi-pros here are dropping tacks for the charge. You can see at the highest caliber. If it isn't a gold charge or a gold tack, they're just not running it. SLB, though, looks like he's going to need a lot more than an upgraded shotgun to get out of this one alive, as someone was lingering off in the bushes here. Oh, it's the Marauders. Jesus. If it couldn't get any worse, now he has the Marauder pack hanging out underneath him, so that's where all the SMG fire was coming from. I was kind of curious as to who lit him up, but it all makes sense now. These guys don't miss.
Yeah, they are accurate, to say the least. I have maybe died to a Marauder or two in gameplay. I'm not happy to admit it. But if you don't admit it, you're a liar. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just a bot.
There it is. Happens to the best of us. I mean, my first touchdown in the Fortnite world was, I thought I saw a pack of guys just teaming. They were just all hanging out. I'm like, are you kidding me?
What is happening?
And then, and I turned the corner to go fight them because they were running all slow. And needless to say, I got my lights put out. So yeah, that happened.
You thought it was a moment. We had a moment at the Australian Open where I think it was Laserbeam who led a conga line, and then it was Zate who came, and rather than joining in on the conga line, he just started letting it rip on every single person. That was you trying to get some free KP against the Marauders, thinking they were actual players, wasn't it?
Yep, we've seen it before. Here's someone that we know has been at the top of the food chain in the competition. It's Cammy. We've seen a few perspectives from him throughout the day. A little bit of a highlight on how he's tearing up a little bit of a mess over there in the lobby that he's in. Remember, there's a bunch of layered lobbies happening all at the same time. These competitive pros have 10 games to jump into. By now, there should be about 80 to 90% through with their games. We're about an hour into, I believe, till the queues are fully closed out. So approaching that tail end of the show and the games in general.
Yep. Which makes me sad because I'm having way too much fun. The gameplay's been great, as we have also had some great production value, catching these replays, the ability to kind of see and understand what's happening in other lobbies, keep up with players like Kami in second place. You better believe Kami does not want to finish second. He wants the first place finish over Mr. Savage. He wants us hyping him up in the morning. So we'll see what happens here in the race for number one, as Kami and Mr. Savage are neck and neck. 241 points for Mr. Savage, 232 for Kami as I last checked. 227 behind that. Now it's actually 259 for Rotary and 256 for Reason. So your boy Reason has cracked into the top two, as they probably just finished up a game.
I love that you use the analogy races. I look over at the map and not a single player was moving. It was like the opposite of a race. Everyone's just hanging out like, dude, I ain't getting caught out there. It's a red light on the streets right now. But finally, it looks like the pace is going to start to change here. Older is going to kick things off and make the first move, as other players are now looking to follow suit. And this is what I mean by, if you rotate first, you're going to be the guy building who's going to lay out the blueprint for the others to kind of follow suit. That's what Older's doing here. You can see Jonah is also on the move there, taking the initiative. Pros and cons. It's all about timing, and especially in solo, it means so much more when you move.
And Jonah, one of these players that we have not seen a whole lot of in FNCS. And that's why you love this open format. You really, really love, DreamHack for putting these tournaments together and giving players an opportunity to make a name for themselves. We have the Invitational Series, we have FNCS, we have Contender Cups, we have so many opportunities, but there's not many like DreamHack to be on the big stage. And now players like Jonah, Older, and some other players that we haven't seen a whole lot of in FNCS will get a chance to shine.
That is the beauty of the open track. Highlight moments here. speak about that. Someone's actually sitting on the cone. He's going to jump up and see it. Oh my. The tactical shotgun's going to connect for the full pressure right there. And it's going to be an insta knock. And now the legendary charge upgrade. You can see down on the left, hey, Fallout, we love you too. Yes, we've been giving nothing but praise for the production crew out, who's been putting on such a beautiful show, such a phenomenal display Fortnite action today.
Ain't that the truth, man? You typically broadcast, Monster. You've done a million of them. You know it. Typically, it's like the casters on the show and the production behind the scenes. We're like, the team extends here. It's like the casters plus production get to be having some fun. I love that they're interacting and engaging too, keeping things interesting. We had some fun facts yesterday about Ireland, which was great, as we were watching an Irish player and save it, and then someone had a clover on their back, and next thing you know, fun facts are being dropped about clovers. So it's been a blast here so far. I love the culture, and I love the themes here that we're able to build upon, as it's always fun in Fortnite.
Absolutely, and we're watching it all unfold here. The action is just starting to pick up here. Again, the lobby is hit a little bit of a dead still here. Here's another little update. This Ardex won another lobby, which means that someone new we're going to have to keep an eye on who's trying to swing his way up.
Yeah, he's not in the top 100, so that could change things for Ardex, at least until I'm kind of refreshing, trying to keep my eye on the overall list here. So very interesting. Good win for Ardex. We'll keep an eye on that and see if he can sneak his way into that top 100. So much can change. Tomzy right now 95th. We saw Tomzy earlier. Sakanu in 89th. So many players in the fringe here, a couple of which are in this lobby. I'm not sure if Sakanu is still alive. We did see him get an elimination on Pump Lover 911 earlier.
Something to note, if you really think about it, it's been 2 zones. Not a single player has been dropped. Just showing you guys how everyone's prioritizing rotations. They're really trying to play for endgame. As we approach later and later in the competition, you begin to notice, like, you need more points, right? Even players like Abuhai would have to break that 130 kind of cutoff here. He's got to step up to the plate and continue to deliver, or you're going to be left in the dust. And that's why it's the intensity, right? And the pacing of the lobby is really slowing down.
Kiriashi here on screen. Opportunity on the replay. He connects for 1. Nice replay through from Kiriashi. Quick update. Benji Fishy in the top 26 as it currently stands. So he's had some pop-off games. We stand with Benji. Top 26 for Benji. Anas is, of course, in 25th, right below him in their overall ranking. So we'll keep a close eye on those standings here as now we're starting to head into this late game. It is a Frenzy Farm finish here, Monster. It's a fun one, a classic one here in Chapter 2.
Absolute classic. This Ibuhai is trying to do a classic play for some height right now, coming into the edge zone, really looking to play spoiler for others that are going to try to make that late rotate on the back half. You can see that's where his focus is coming into. Here's KS1 Light, who's now sitting inside doing the opposite. He's playing the low level, really capitalizing, keeping his material maxed out to the best of his abilities. Kind of shy in the metal compartment, but yeah, that's all right. This mansion's big enough to spread the wood and the brick here. That's what he's doing right now.
Yep. Good resource management coming through. Meanwhile, it looks like it's all about the grandma's house. There's a sleepover being had right now at grandma's house, and I'll tell you right now, it's a dangerous one. We're gonna get a nice first shot put in. Everyone's starting to rotate over. You have a few other folks in this lobby, as you see on screen. It's gonna be MCES X Squeezer with a nice few shots put from high ground. He's gonna be content holding high ground. Right now has ultimate high ground. He's gonna want to sit there for the rest of the game if he can. We don't know who has our mythics though. We'll keep an eye out and start to see who ends up pulling out the shockwave launcher towards our late game.
Love how Squeezer's playing this as well. Nice wide catacomb of a base up here. It looks like this might have been where he found his frag, because he's maxed out on material and has the excess to spare. And with that, he is very, very much likely to continue to stomp through this lobby here. We would love to get a little bit of context on Squeezer's competitive history, as he's been around for some time. He's one of the few that I don't know too much about. The MCS team, though, has been putting on a great production and showcase for the community. There's a few out there like Team Solari and MCES who just do great things to showcase their players.
Great content. Yeah, France and Fortnite, man. I'll tell you right now, one of the most lively scenes. I know Squeeze has won a Fortnite Champions Series Invitational, Chapter 2, Season 2, in the reboot round, I believe it was, in Europe. Took first place there, plays with Nord, and of course part of that MCS squad alongside Andalix, Podesai, who we saw earlier. So no stranger. We're going to see what Squeeze can do. I don't know if he's in the top 100. We'll keep you updated there. But Squeeze in this scenario needs to go big. I don't think he is in that top 100. He needs to go huge.
That's the thing, right? There's going to be upsets, especially in solo competition. But you know what? There's no one to blame but yourself if you don't step up to the plate. That's why it's a love or hate kind of game mode. And just as I speak about that, Ibuhai lets his guard down. We talk about taking the blame game there. He is in a world of trouble, forced to burn out the rest of his metal material here just to get a little bit of a safety cushion, safety bubble here to get his heal on. It's half in, half out though. Players are just now starting to finally fall in the lobby. Look, 41 players remain. That's a full zone that only 6 players were dropped. Yeah, it's Sakanu who's on fire.
Yeah, still gets one. So that's a big game for Sakanu, who's currently on the fringe. Already takes out Crix. It's Abuhai currently with crash pad. That's going to be his mechanism for rotation, but that's about all he has to his name right now. AR, shotgun, and crash pads in a dream. Needs to get an elimination. Needs to play with aggression, and he's going to sneak up on one. Needs to finish this, though. I don't know if he can or will he.
Oh, no.
Unfortunate for Abuhai, because the third party's going to come through. So it goes from a great situation to a horrible one so quickly.
And yes, he is getting dived into. Can he find the next one? No, he managed to crack the shield, but the tactical shotgun did not do enough. He actually whiffed the shot there. What it mattered most. I don't blame him. He needed to find an impact frag as he was becoming more and more desperate. Maybe a little too soon, though, overcommitting there. He is going to get punished for it. 120 points on the lobby exit there. Still very much on the bubble for making it through to grand finals, though. We'll have to continue to keep tabs on him. As now Tyler's, Rico, Wings, and others are sitting here in the lobby trying to play for some prime positioning. The zone 6 is finally going to reveal itself. They're going to have to cut across.
Yeah, so Tyler's currently sitting with a decent loadout, low ground. It is Rico with current high ground as it stands. As we're now hopping aboard C1 Sutanosi. Currently sitting in a decent position, content right now, letting everyone fight it out, and then trying to play for lurk picks on the rotation. Let's see if he can connect for an impact frag right here. But has good loot, has a jump pad. That's why he's content just chilling as it currently stands. And here comes the rotation. Well played, well rotated from C1.
Yeah, burning one of the 2 launch pads. Absolutely. Use them, don't lose them, especially come to the tail end of the game here. This is going to allow him to conserve as much math as he needs to. C1 in a prime position to look back on the zone. Here's what he's opting to do right now. Not quite finding anything. He's going to find some tags, but not enough. Not as good as we saw Tayson do it before. So let's see what's going to happen next. He's using these crash pads now. He wants to continue to save mats. Another beautiful usage of the crash pad.
Yep, we got James from Germany. As we saw on screen, he's in this lobby as well. He's in the top 100. Sakanu also in the top 100. Those are the 2 players that we know. At least currently standing within the top 100. This is going to be C1 gets a nice pick on his opponent. Good start for him. Still has his launch pad, still has his crash pads as well. In a good situation for mobility right now. A very, very good loadout for C1 Sutanosi.
And more importantly, that impact frag is going to set him up with all the materials. He can build as much as he wants to his heart's content here. Another crash pad is going to allow him to cut across. He goes with the air shot. It's not going to quite connect, but a flashy attempt indeed. As we now look at KS1 Light, he's going to light someone up right there, and that's going to be an impact frag for him as well. More material allowed for him to continue to stay up on the high ground, playing that mid kind of tarp right now. A little bit of a bounce back and forth between the action feeds here. We're trying to continue to keep up with everything that's unfolding. Light though. No more map.
Opportunity. Yeah, opportunity to see both KS1 Light and Sutanosi in this picture-in-picture. 2 different points of view, one playing low ground, one playing mid ground, I believe, as it currently stands. And however, KS1 Light is going to get another pickup on an elimination. So he continues to roll right where he started over in Grandma's house, all the way to the fields. KS1 Light is in a very good position right now with a few eliminations to his name. That's 3. Sutanosi with 2. We'll stay on board with them.
Not only that, he is playing out of his mind. 160 points, well above the cutoff right now to continue to make it into qualification. The person who's on the bubble, though, it's C1, so C1 has to continue to make points here. Wait a second, though. Back to Light here.
Each other
in a fight. Yes. They do end up crossing paths now, and you can see from both perspectives on the other side of the wall there, it was C1 who goes running. Light getting the best of him. Forced to farm, though. He doesn't have any mass, but that's so clutch for him as he hops across. 120 on the shot and follows up, and now he gets the refresher that he needs again. So Light is still in the running, and C1 is doing the same. Finds his
This is a tag team, as they're just taking turns right now, getting eliminations. Both players on screen are absolutely popping off. You wonder, at what point are they going to meet? At what point are they going to fight? And which Titan will win? Sutanosi versus KS1 Light. Both with huge plays. Sutanosi gets another one. He's not done yet. It comes down to this. Only a few players remain in this lobby, and they're getting closer and closer.
They are indeed here. Here's C1, though, who's moving his way forwards now on the low ground. Just biding his time, though. He has just enough material to actually close out this game. On the other side, Light's going to clutch up with the big Elam. Someone's outside of the storm zone. Makes another edit. He knows where this player's at. Crash Pads are revealing himself, exposing him though. He needs this one, and yes, he finds it. Another siphon keeps him alive in a storm. No more HP though, and he still survives. Somehow, some way, top 3 now fall out. How's it gonna unfold?
You can hardly believe if we wrote a story, it couldn't have been written even better than this. As these two, the two we have followed for the last 5 minutes, will be fighting against each other for the win. It is C1 Sutonosi versus KS1 Light, and it's going to be Sutonosi who connects for the elim. He's not done yet. Larzi still alive in this one. It might be a heal off. No, instead it's going to be a fight. Sutonosi, can he finish? A huge game, a must-win for him, and he's not done yet. Here comes the opportunity, trying to survive. Monster, call it.
Yes, he has to, and he pops the flopper. One more shot is all he needs, and he is going to get it just in the nick of time. And Larzi falls to the zone in the final moments, but C1 playing absolutely incredible. 186 points, surpassing Light in the final moments.
What a fight and what a finish to close that one out. Like I said, a story, a match for the ages. We will be remembering that one in the replay package. A strong showing from KS1 Light, Sutonosi, and of course Larzi in the end there. Sutonosi does end up with the victory royale. We got to see his journey from the beginning. What a finish that was. I got to bring Kelly in to get her perspective watching from the back end. What a performance, Kelly.
Kelly is
she's back.
button again.
You guys, thank you again. I'm just so hyped that I was screaming over here. I wanted to make sure that I muted my mic. But guys, that was such an incredible fight. And Fall, I think you said it best, that this was like a story in esports that you want to see. You always want to follow the player that like you've been watching for 5 minutes and make it all the way to the end. And you got to see both players make it to the top 3 right there. And speaking of top 3, although these standings are updating constantly, everyone, we do have Rotary at number 1 right now, Reason at number 2, and Janice, a name that we've been saying a lot. He didn't perform that well yesterday, but obviously coming back right now. Of course, they have 10 games to be able to fully flesh out these points and how it works out for them. So we do still have a few games to go. And as you guys know, this is Fortnite. A few games can completely shift the way this tournament's going.
And I gotta say, Monster, I gotta say it for you because you're too humble. You're not gonna say it. My man Monster is goated. The 2 players he calls out in the pre-show, the 2 players that he says we want to look out for, it's Reason and it's Janice. They both pop off. They're currently standing in top 3, making my man Monster look quite wise.
They're killing it.
Real quick, though, something that was very surprising to me, someone that we actually saw earlier, Inevitable Prune is not in the top 100, even with a victory royale. And Lanouf, at like a few minutes ago, was standing at 134. So it's going to be a crazy few games here. These players that we were expecting to see at the top 100 only have about an hour left to really make it up into the top 100 so that they can get into the grand finals. But before we get into those next games, everyone, we're going to be right back after this quick break.